I'm going to give you a huge intimate relationship life hack. Okay, listen up. Active, non-reactive listening. Let me repeat that. Active, non-reactive listening. Okay, so let me just break this down for you. I'm going to try to make it short because this could go on for a very long time. But honestly, I feel like this is one of the greatest gifts you can ever give anyone, whether it's your partner, your life partner, family member, certainly your children, even, coworkers, everyone that you're with, is to give them active, non-reactive listening. So, and I'm going to tell you how it works and break it down point by point. But first, I want to tell you why it's important and why it's just necessary in all relationships. Okay, when you get into a relationship with somebody else, little secret. Okay, it might seem about romance and love and all these great things, and it is. But underneath it all, there's a little secret. It's that you are working on yourself. Okay, that's what it is. It's a masterclass in self-awareness, our relationships. So every relationship is showing you your greatness and showing you where you need to do work. Okay. And if you keep getting in the same paradigm, same type of relationship, it's because you haven't passed the class yet. So if you want to not be in those same relationships because they're not working for you, you want to be in a new paradigm, you need to pass the class. You need to get the lesson and move on. Okay, so where does this active, non-reactive listening process come into it? Okay, so in all these fairy tale, really cool, awesome, juicy, romantic relationships, because we're humans and you've both come from a different set of not only DNA and RNA and epigenetics and environment and cultures and stories and beliefs and different teachers and acquaintances and experiences and parents and, etc. Okay. You're different. Maybe you're same gender. Maybe you're different gender. I don't know. All right. There's going to be conflict because you will not see eye to eye. Okay. You will not see everything the same because that other person coming a little close is not the same. It's not a clone of you. They're going to see things differently. Do you need them to see things exactly the same way that you see it? Let me give you the quick answer. No. No, you do not. Okay? Does it feel good when someone sees things the way that you see it? Yes. Everyone wants to be seen, wants you to see through their eyes, wants to be affirmed, wants to be understood, wants to be loved and accepted. Everybody wants that, okay? That's what they're seeking, okay? So let me tell you, one of the greatest ways that you can give this to somebody is by actively, non-reactively listening to them. Okay, so let me tell you how it works. But there's a couple caveats to it, a couple little side things that I need to tell you about. But let me just tell you about the process first. So what does it mean? Okay, so let's say that you are, okay, it's going to be hard for me to say this, but okay. You're going to want to have a conversation with your partner, let's say. And it's something, do not come into it when you're heated, when you're dysregulated, when you're dissociated, when you're in conflict and you just want to move your pain body energy into them and then just like feel better because you just blasted them, okay? No, this is not the preferred method. This is not the way to a healthy relationship. That's the way to an unhealthy relationship that will harm the other person and will harm you and harm everybody that you're around. Okay, so what do? You wait. Okay, when you have a conflict, you wait. You leave and you go do work on yourself so you can reach some level of heart-centeredness so that when you speak to them from your heart about how you feel about yourself this way, how you feel, not them, then you can have a loving conversation where you're going to get your needs met. I promise you. So let me talk about how that works. That's the first part of doing the work, is removing yourself when you're in conflict to get yourself to a state that is reflective, calm, homeostasis, non-agitated. If it takes time to do that, take the time that you need to do that. Do not speak when you're in that space. Ever. Okay? Okay, so active non-reactive listening. Now you're prepared to go and speak from your heart, and you're going to so you're going to set this up. Okay, now it's time to speak from your heart. Okay, so the other person is prepared too. So now we're going to have this active non-reactive listening process. How does it work? So now the other person knows that, you're going to be heart-based, tender when you speak about what you need to speak about. It's going to be about how you feel. Okay, that's it. It's not going to be about them needing to change, calling them names, putting them down, making them feel shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, threatened, abandoned, all those things. And by the way, if you're using those techniques, by the way, they never work. They were learned. You've learned them from somebody. You've learned them from your mother, from your father, from a caretaker, from a friend. Okay. This is manipulation. This is negative. This is harmful. This is not what you want to do. You always want to be on the higher level of consciousness. You always want to be love-based. Always, 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 always be love-based. Okay. So now you're coming in with this setup that you're going to be love-based, and the receiver who's going to listen, do the active non-reactive listening, is going to be love-based as well. Okay, so you see there's boundaries set into this. You cannot be abusive. You cannot be harmful. You cannot be name-calling. You cannot be in a dysfunctional, dysregulated state. Can't. You have to be love-based. Okay, so you sit down and you can talk. Let's say the limit's like 10 minutes straight, and it's just it's a monologue. Okay, active non-reactive listening process, it's a monologue. It's not a dialogue. Okay, two people talking back and forth doesn't work. Okay, you're only there to share your feelings about how you feel. Whether or not how you feel is correct or not, it's how you feel. Okay, and so you're sitting in a place together, and now you're going to share how you feel. The other person knows this doesn't mean I'm right. This doesn't mean it's correct. It doesn't mean what I'm saying is your truth. It's just how I feel. Okay. So the other person receiving is just allowing the other person to speak, no matter what they say. Okay. No matter how preposterous or wrong it seems to you, this is how they feel. So the person who is speaking, and they'll say okay, I'm going to speak for 10 minutes. Mostly people, when they're allowed to have a monologue space of speaking, it really doesn't usually last more than 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at max. What makes things last a really long time is the dialogue, because that's the interruption. That's no, you've got to see it my way. No, you've got to see it my way. That's the conflict. So person comes in, speak for 10 minutes. Let's say it's 15. Okay, 10 minutes. It's not very long, trust me. And you, the receiver, are sitting on the other side facing them. And all you're doing is breath work and relaxing your body the entire time. You're allowing them to have their feelings. You're allowing them to say how they feel, no matter how upsetting it is to you. Okay? And you just breathe and relax. And you feel yourself getting triggered. And you just go, oh, and then you just breathe into it. And you can breathe, by the way, as loud as you want. By the way, Chloe, when I first started doing this, I did it because I was forced to do it, because there were people that I loved so much that I really wanted to be there for them. And I would lay on the floor and I would just start breathing super loud, like in my nose, out of my mouth. And it didn't matter. It's not distracting at all. Okay. It's just like you stick with it. People are kind of confused. It's like, wow, what's going on over there? All right. So the person's now on a roll. They're saying things. It's on a circuitous. And it actually usually goes in this, it usually goes in a bell curve, just so you know. So it'll start out pretty strong and it will build. And it will definitely build. And it will keep building and build. And you got to do a lot of breath work and relaxation. Building. It might seem like forever. It's at the peak. Stick with it. Stick with the breathing. Say nothing. It's a monologue. And then if you allow them to be heard, the bell will start coming down. It will start lessening. They'll start feeling more love. They'll start feeling more trust, gratitude, equanimity, care, because guess what? They're being heard, okay? Without being interrupted for fucking once in their fucking life, okay? And you might be sitting there in your ego state being angry, but it's not about that. It's not about this is true and this is not true. It's not about that. It's not about being right. It's just about hearing, holding space, not abandoning somebody, allowing them to have their feelings. Okay. Then once it comes down the bell curve and it ends, by the way, I do want you to practice this and I'll do a shorter video talking about it so it's not so long as this is. Once the monologue ends, usually they'll feel so much better. And then what you'll do is when there's a little space of time, you'll say to them, is there anything else? Is that it? Is there any, not like, is that it? But like, is that it? Is there anything else? Like, you know, and people love that. People love that. They still can say more if they need to. And very often times people will say like, no, it's really not all. And then they'll talk some more. They'll add some more stuff on, which is great. Let them add on some more. And then they'll have a little pause. And then at that point you can say, here's the good part. Here's the juicy part. Come in close. You say, I'm going to repeat back to you what I think I heard you say. Oh my God. Jump for joy. People will be so excited. And this is why it's active listening, because by the way, when you're listening, you're comprising bullet points of what they said, and you're not adulterating what they said. If they said they really feel that you are very inconsiderate and rude because you never, take out the trash, and you're going to say it exactly like they said to you, but with no emotion behind it in bullet points. So you're going to start from the beginning. You're going to get really good at this very quickly. And you're just going to go, this is what I think. I want to repeat back to you what I think I heard you say. And they're like, wow, this is great. And you start bullet pointing. I think you said this, and then you go all the way down and be your best A student at this. Okay. Then you're going to say, and they might correct you. They go, well, no, what I really said, and then say, and then you repeat back that. Like if they have a little twist, what they said is, I didn't say you're rude. I said that you were inconsiderate. And then you go, okay, so that I'm inconsiderate because of, and not with any judgment in your voice, like none, just repeating back, like, okay. So then when you get all done with the repeating back the bullet points, you say to them, did I get it all? Did I get it correctly? And they'll have a tweak or two. They might have a tweak or two. And then, okay. Then guess what? It's over. There's no more conversation. It's over. You do not have a dialogue about this later. You do not talk about this later. You do not make an appointment to have this conversation again. You do not bring it up again. You say nothing. You've held space. You've listened to them actively. You've repeated back what you thought they said. They confirmed that you did hear them correctly. And then that's it. And there's going to be so much love there. And also, if there's information in there that is really not for you to fix, for you to work, it's really for them. Now they can work on what they need to do. They know that they, are, being a little bit exaggerating here or there, or that they can do certain work, and they will start to solve the problems. Now, if there's work for you to do, you will start solving those problems. That's what active, non-reactive listening process is. It's a little dicey. It's a little challenging. It is a master class. But I will tell you, it is the number one most loving thing that you can do for anyone that you care about in your life. Practice it. And the only caveat I said in the beginning was there's rules. And the rules are there's no name calling. There's no threatening. There's no cursing. There's no abuse in it. Okay. That's the only rule. There's no abuse. Okay. No name calling, no abuse, no putting down. It's only about I messages about I feel. You just practice it. I feel. If you catch yourself going, I feel that you do this. I just feel that. And the other person listening says nothing. Okay. So active, non-reactive listening process. And that's what I have to share on the relationship life hack.